Hey y'all, oh happy day. Welcome back to the Positive Thoughts series. I'm your girl Yan. I am so happy you are back. The weeks are just flying on by. This week is a very special week. This is the week of my birthday. My birthday weekend is this upcoming weekend. Yay me, I'm so happy. I am having a brunch that my sisters are planning, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, who knows what else. I don't know what else is to come out of this upcoming weekend, but I'm looking forward to it. It is a celebration of me, but you know, not too much about me. I already told y'all last week what the topic was going to be for this week. I realized I left out one part of the topic. The actual topic is happiness is a positive state of mind. Let's go ahead and get into it. What does it mean to be happy? I'm sure you can define this in your own way. And so, you know, I look up the definition and it was saying like being especially joyous over a particular thing, something along those lines. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That reads. You think about things that you like may get, like for example, like I was saying, my birthday's coming up. Like say I get a gift and I'm just like, oh, I'm so happy because like this is so great. Like this is something I wanted. You know what I mean? So I could see that. But then I got to thinking about just this topic in general, about how it says happiness is a positive state of mind. And I was like, you know what? When you think about it, happiness does start with a mindset. Because I could receive that same gift and be like, I hate it. You know what I mean? I could literally be like, I don't like this. And choose to just be negative and choose to just have a bad outlook on it instead of just actually appreciating it and being happy that I even received it, because that's not something that they had to give me. It was something that they wanted to give me, right? So it's like happiness is a positive state of mind. When I got to thinking about it, I was like, this is a great topic to talk about, because I'm often talking about how we have to be and have a more positive mindset, but there are other characteristics of having that positive mindset, and that's happiness. Happiness, being a positive state of mind, can manifest in our lives in so many ways. And so when we're choosing to be in a positive mindset, we can see that happiness manifest in being more optimistic. If you're starting to be a more optimistic person, you'll start to look at every single situation optimistically instead of being so pessimistic about it. It could be something as simple as I talked about last week, you know, with it raining. You could look at the rain as an opportunity and say like, you know, oh yeah, it's probably is a rainy day, but it's still going to be a great day. I like to wake up and I always like to say, you know, it's still a great day. It's always going to be a great day. And that optimism just speaks volumes. We can think about that in terms of any type of outcome. Instead of thinking, oh, this will never happen for me, you can start thinking like, this will happen for me. This is going to happen for me. When you start to be more happy and start to think about things, that's how you can start to see that happiness manifesting and as a positive state of mind. Another thing that you can look at is being more resilient. When it comes to obstacles that you'll face, you can start to be more resilient and knowing like, okay, you know, this obstacle happened. This was a challenge for me, but I'm able to bounce back from it because I know it's just going to get better. One thing I always like to say is that, you know, when it comes to, say, dating, for example, you can go through negative dating experiences, but then once you start to realize exactly what you want and, you know, say something doesn't work out, if you have that mindset, like it's only going to get better, it's only going to get better. If you're always thinking it's going to get better, it will get better. And that's been my mindset when I was dating. I would think like, yeah, you know what? It's only going to get better from here. And it did. And when I look back, I was like, each partner got better. They became closer to, you know, what it was I wanted. And that was me just being more resilient and knowing like, yeah, I had a negative dating experience, but it didn't fully impact the way that I think about all dating experiences. I knew that it was going to be better and I was able to continue to bounce back and be resilient when it came to continuing to date. I didn't give up. I was still optimistic about dating. And so that's how we can see happiness manifesting in that positive state of mind. I can go on the worst date ever, but I'm not going to let that stop me. And it didn't stop me from continuing to press forward. Another way we can see this manifest is in our creative lives. So I don't know if you are a creative person. I think everybody has some creativity to them. I think everybody has something about them that makes them unique. And so if this is something that you haven't found, I encourage you to start taking the time to yourself to try to focus on what it is that you like and what you like to do. Because you'll start to see that you'll become more creative. Like for me, being in front of a camera is something that I love to do. Putting together ideas is something I love to do. I remember when I put together Which Way Wednesday, I thought that was so genius, and I was up so late and I was just like, Which Way Wednesday? This is so dope. And so I had really great critique though. One of my friends was like, well, which way? Like, which way what? And I was just like, oh, I do need to be a little bit more specific. And so Which Way Wednesday was for my outfits. And so I was like, okay, which way would you wear it Wednesday? And I love the wordplay, not trying to rhyme, but I do love a good poem. But as I continue to be in this positive mindset and just be extremely optimistic, resilient, and happy, I started to see my creativity just increase tenfold. And I just feel like I was just so focused, and it was like my third eye kind of opened in a way. Not that I wasn't creative before, but as I continued to press forward and really just continue to do it and push this positive thought series as well, it was like my creativity just spiked even more. Another way that happiness can be a positive and beneficial state of mind is through productivity, being productive. When you're moving into that mindset and you're thriving and you're continuing to just be in that mindset, you'll start to see yourself be more productive. For me, it's been being able to balance my content creating and work. And I know the days where I feel so great are the days where I'm like, okay, I have a good handle on my customers. And I also have a good handle on my content for the week. Sometimes I will still find though where it's like, oh, I'm behind on recording content because work is getting hectic. But I'm always able to get back into a space where it's like, okay, I have work under control. So now I can start focusing on my content and I can really start getting into a place where I'm really getting it done. This is so beneficial when you're in this happiness, positive state of mind, because this productivity is also something that's really great and beneficial for you as well to have. And the last thing that I want to talk about when it comes to happiness being a positive state of mind is just overall life satisfaction. When we are operating in this positive mindset and choosing to be happy, life just gets better. Just like I was saying, even in relationships, life gets better. You continue to thrive in any scenario, and you will always continue to thrive as long as you're deciding, I am going to just be happy. I'm going to just be positive. You'll start to look at the little things in life. I've talked about this on other episodes about how one thing that I'm extremely grateful for on a day-to-day basis is waking up. Because each day I wake up, I'm like, God still has me here for a reason. And that's enough for me to know like that I'm here for a reason. You know what I mean? So when you're looking at it in terms of God still has you here and you were given another day, something so simple as life, you'll start to see life just be better. You're like, it's a great day. What reason do I have to complain when I was given this day? What reason? These are our examples this week of how happiness is a positive state of mind and how it can be beneficial for you. I always like to ask you all questions. The first question, if you don't know what happiness means to you, I want you to start defining, what does happiness mean? And even though the definition says because of something, I want you to know that that happiness is actually going to start within. You want to be able to find happiness within yourself first so that you can be appreciative and happy on the outward. So hopefully that makes sense. How do you find that happiness within yourself? Start looking at some things maybe that you are unhappy about. How are we going to have this happiness, positive state of mind? We're going to look inward and we're going to say, what makes me unhappy about myself today? And when you find that and you identify that, I want you to write that down. Once you write that down, I want you to start looking at ways that you can change that mindset. So for me, I was unhappy with the way that I looked at one point. I was like, okay, what do I need to do? Start eating clean, start going to the gym. And so I started doing that. I was also like, okay, I'm tired of kind of looking so basic. What else could I do? So now every day I wake up, I get my eyebrows together, I get my hair together. I do that for myself. These were two ways in which I was like, okay, this was kind of making me unhappy, but now I'm very happy. I'm very happy within. And so now I can continue to be even more happier on the external. Once you have that internal happiness within yourself, and it's like you do that for yourself, then you can start sharing even more happiness with others. Once you have your list and identify what makes you unhappy, if there are some things, if not, if you are perfectly happy and you're already there, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. But for those of you who may still be struggling with some things that are making you unhappy on the internal, write it down. Once you write it down, look at what you can do to improve it, because there are ways you can improve that internal happiness. Once you start looking at those ways, I want you to go ahead and also write out your plan. How are you going to do it? And then I want you to commit to that plan, because this is the easy part. The easiest part is being able to identify, write it down, say what you're going to do. But the hardest part is actually doing it. So once you actually come up with everything that you need to work on to have that internal happiness, if you don't already have it, again, I'm only speaking to those who don't. This might not apply to everyone. And then you start working towards it, you'll start to build up even more of that happiness within, so that then you can truly be happy on the outside. You ever met someone and you're like, oh wow, they're such a beautiful person, but on the inside it's just like they're such an ugly person? And it's usually because they don't have that happiness on the inside. Like they're an ugly person on the inside because they're not truly happy. Or I mean, I can't say honestly, maybe they are just ugly. Well, yeah, no, I feel like it has a lot to do with happiness. That's my personal opinion. It could have something to do with something else, but yeah, all in all, that is how you're going to work towards having that happiness, positive state of mind, if you don't already, manifest in your life. I hope this has been a very informative episode of the Positive Thoughts series. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.